Hi, this is Karen, and I'm going to show you very quickly how you can set up your own scorecard. So I've got my bill sheets here, and I'm going to go into my key legislation. I've identified some bills that I've decided I care about. All right, and so here are the bills and some basic information. However, I'm going to need to be able to set my position. So I need to go up to my template and open up my template. You could create a new one, or you could just edit one of the ones you've got. And I am going to add position to my template. All right, so I will save that. And then close, and then I can go back into my legislation, and now I have this position option. If you created a new template, you're going to want to go to the Manage tab and switch over to your new template so that you have your position column available. All right, so now that I have that column, I'm going to move it over a little bit, just temporarily. I can move it in the template and then it will stay over here, but I just want it here for right now. Next time I come back, it's fine if it's at the end. And I'm going to say whether I like these bills or not. So I'm going to go ahead and say that I strongly support this one, and I support this one, and I think this one is fine. Also good. Strongly support this one. And then I opposed this one. Okay, so now that I've got this all set up, I've got kind of my default scores in here, how I felt about these bills. Now I can go back home and go to the Scorecard tab and say make a new scorecard. And then I need to pick what state it's going to be in. Give it a quick name. And then say what bill sheet I want to start from. And so this was my key legislation bill sheet. Now, if you leave this blank, you can just add bills to your scorecard one by one. So it's okay if you don't have a bill sheet, but it's sure faster if you do. All right. I am not a subscriber, so I'm going to go ahead and buy this guy. If you would like to try one of these out, I'm happy to set you up a free trial of this. Just drop me a note. All right, so basically what it did is it took each of my bills that I had identified as my key legislation, and it gave it a score based on the ones I strongly supported or just supported or opposed. And you can fine-tune these scores, but our default is 5 for strong support, 3 for support, -3 for oppose, and -5 for strong oppose. And then if I want to give this a little more nuance, I can go in here and say, actually, I like this bill so much, I would like to give the people that sponsored it an extra point for doing that. And this one is actually going to get a 6. And I can explain why I liked it so much. I can put in links to other places. And I can even go through the individual bill votes and say, you know what? The people who voted for it on committee, they get extra points too. And in that way, I can say what scores I'm using to calculate my scorecard. If there is a score I just don't want to count, I can exclude it. And I can force include any of them and override the score so they don't get the whole 6 points for voting for it on committee. I'm just giving them 2 points for that. All right. So then I can go through and make any of these. So let us give minus a point for the people who sponsored this bill that I don't like. And then I can give it, even override the name. All right, so now I am all set up. I fine-tuned this as much as I want to. So now on the summary, what we've done is looked at how everybody voted and gave them points. So if they voted the right way, they get points. And if they voted the wrong way, they lose points. Pretty simple. And now I can see who was helping and who was hurting, what I think should have happened this year. So these are just more or less random bills, so this isn't actually meaningful, but If I click on one of the specific legislators, I can see how they voted on each of my key bills and then how I wanted them to vote. So I can see where their score comes from. So voted the way I wanted. Here he would have lost 3 points. And he voted yes on this bill I didn't like, so he would have lost another 3 points. And then if they sponsored any of the bills that I gave points to, you could see that here too. All right. And you can see how the parties did based on the random scores I assigned. You can see what districts were supportive and not supportive of my agenda, state and Senate. And so the greener, the better, obviously. And then if I want to share this, I simply go check the box to say make the scorecard public, and then you can either embed it or just share it as a link. Or you can keep it private just for your own use so that you know. And that is how you make a scorecard. Hopefully that was helpful. Feel free to drop me a line, ask me questions anytime. I can always be found on the contact page. Thanks.